Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Pulse. Today, I have Rachel here to discuss about a little bit about herself, about what she does, and her nonprofit, Imagine Jazz. So, Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, obviously, let's get into the right of things and tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you grew up in Spokane. Where was you born, and what do you do?
Sure. My name's Rachel Bade McMurphy, and I'm a musician and music teacher here in Spokane. I've always been in the Pacific Northwest. Grew up in a small town, actually many small towns surrounding Spokane, from Reardon to Wellpinit and Chewelah, which is where I graduated high school.
Very nice, very nice.
After high school, I went to WSU in Pullman, spent about 10 years there, and then moved back up here to Spokane. And so when I came to Spokane, I started teaching music lessons.
Okay.
And yeah, in fact, I think you may have been one of my first music
Oh,
students.
yeah, I think I may have been.
On
Yeah,
the
for
clarinet.
a long time.
Starting in what, fourth grade, I think? Third grade?
Oh, goodness. 2010
Okay.
to 2019. I think it
Nice.
was, yeah, it was a long time. And you taught me how to play clarinet, how to do saxophone, and even a little bit of singing. So
Absolutely.
all nice things, all nice things. So local jazz musician. And so let's just get into your nonprofit. Tell us a little bit about Imagine Jazz.
Sure. Imagine Jazz is a local nonprofit that I started. We're in our third year, and we are dedicated to celebrating jazz heritage and enriching local lives through advocacy of the arts. And so we do that through guest artist concerts and workshops, and we also have local features, jam sessions, and other events to just really get our community, fostering a sense of community and learning about one another through the arts and just having a great expression and everything from teaching young students about jazz to enriching musicians who are maybe professional musicians who want some inspiration. And then it's kind of a double fold because when we bring these artists in town from out of town, they get to share their art with people that they wouldn't normally
Right.
get to perform for.
And we were talking about this before we went on recording, but about how jazz music itself, you think of jazz music, where you're going to go listen to it. New York City, no, the other one, New Orleans and Portland, Seattle, those bigger towns, bigger names and where jazz might be. But when you think of Spokane, you're like, what? And I think this is something that is needed in this community and definitely. I wish it was sooner, but and it's now, so that's fantastic. So, what are some local events coming up for that?
Yeah, we have two events that are coming up this season. We have the Jamie Baum Septet Plus, which is coming through in October. And then we also have Daryl Yoakley's Sound Reformation in November. That's going to be attached to what we call a legacy workshop, where students get to work with not only local artists like myself and others in Imagine Jazz, but then they also get to work with all four members of the quartet, where they can learn from each of these members. And so we call it a legacy workshop because students are able to have access to these musicians who have learned from, recorded with, and toured with the masters. And we're talking some of the biggest names in jazz that these people have performed with and learned from. And we really get that connection by being able to ask them those specific questions that we have. If you can imagine being, a fifth grader or a sixth grader and being able to see music at that level, it's really inspiring. And even for those of us who are teachers and who are performers, you get to the point that you need more inspiration, and sometimes just seeing somebody do what you want to do is really inspiring, or to hear a different sound. In the case of the Jamie Baum Septet that's coming through in October, this is someone who, as a composer, has done some really amazing things. She's been in so many best of CD lists with her release Bridges.
Interesting.
Yeah, she won a Guggenheim Fellowship for
Very
her work
cool.
with that, which is like one of the highest awards. She also traveled as a U.S. Secretary of the State Jazz Ambassador, which is a program of the NEA, where we send, this is a way that the United States sends culture from the United States out to the rest
other
of the
countries,
world,
right?
which
Yeah.
is a beautiful program.
That's fabulous. I mean, as a former jazz musician myself, this is something that I think this community needs, and to bring that experience to the young, fifth graders, sixth graders who are just starting out in band and different band programs across the city. This is an extraordinary resource of education. And we have another one coming up. Jonathan, right? Is
Yeah,
coming up?
actually, Jonathan Finlayson. So I brought my list here. So with the Jamie Baum Septet, which is going to be in October, she has a total of 8 musicians with her. She calls it the Septet Plus, which Septet would be 7, but it's plus, so it's plus one. So Jamie is on flutes and compositions. We've got Jonathan Finlayson on trumpet. Aaron Irwin on alto sax and bass clarinet, Chris Comer on French horn, which is very unusual to have a French horn player in a jazz group, Brad Shepik on guitar, who I've been told is a former Washingtonian. He went to Western, I believe it was Western, it was either Western or Central, but he actually went to school in his undergrad, I believe, here in Washington, which is pretty cool. John Escrete on piano, Ricky Rodriguez on bass, and Jeff Hirschfield on drums, and that's all of those people are going to be on the October concert.
Okay, and where's the concert taking place?
Yeah, so the concert will take place at Holy Names Music Center. McNally Recital Hall is the name of the portion that we're in, and I know a lot of people are really concerned with COVID spread and whatnot. We are asking that people who attend in person are vaccinated. We are also limiting the capacity. So while that is a capacity of 150 seated, it technically seats, it could stand about 250.
Right, the
so
COVID protocol.
Exactly, COVID protocol. So we're doing 50% of seated, which is only 75 people. But then we also have the live stream option. So if anyone is feeling unsafe going out in those gatherings, we want you to still be able to see it. So you can get a virtual ticket and still be able to watch.
And how much are the tickets, do you know, off the top of your head?
So 30 for regular. We did have to raise our prices a little. One of our foundations of our mission was we wanted to keep prices low. But in this case, we have 8 people here in town from New York. Yeah. So it's 30 for regular, and then it goes down from there. Member prices, you can become a member of Imagine Jazz, and you'll get a discount. So it's $25, $20 for students, and then $15 for students who are 12 and under. So we have a nice range.
Very nice, very nice. And $30, same thing with the online ticket too? That's
I think we're doing $20 for the virtual ticket.
Okay.
So a little bit of a discount since you can't be there in person. And I know $20 seems like a lot for when you can't be there in person, but just know that you're supporting the arts and helping us make this happen.
Definitely my grandmother will want to tune in for that event. So awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to say about Imagine Jazz, about yourself?
Sure, yeah. We are member supported, member and volunteer supported. So if you would like to help support our works, you can become a member. You can find that information at imaginejazz.org. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for connections, so if there's jazz musicians out there that want to become more connected with others or are looking for a place to play, definitely reach out, and you can just reach out to me through the website. The other thing that we do have coming up is our combo program at Holy Names Music Center.
Okay.
And this is something that we've restarted this year where we have both classes, so Foundations of Jazz saxophone classes, group classes for all ages. So I originally entitled it Baby Bird because we were trying to get the little ones just doing call and response, which we still have that. And then we've really expanded it to become all ages. So adults who are wanting to get back into playing, all the way from the kids who are just learning. So all ages combo program with a weekly rehearsal, and you'll have a coach, myself, Lauren McKinley or Brendan McMurphy, all have master's degree in jazz, and so you'll be able to work with one of us. We also have regional artists that'll come through and help you. So if you're interested in getting back into playing, that would be a great resource, or students who are looking for a place to play and get more help. We really have a vision of growing this to the point that all ages are performing and learning together, so that, for instance, we could have young students open for some of these bigger concerts.
And gain the experience too from that, because like I said previously, with if you were in Seattle, if you were in New York and you were over 18 and wanted to perform, you could, depending on the bar, depending on the age. But here in Spokane, having that platform will be great for younger people too.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing.
And the website is?
www.imaginejazz.org.
Okay, simple enough. Alrighty, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And it was great to reconnect with you as always.
Absolutely.
And thank you for tuning into The Pulse. Have a nice day.
Style, structure, innovation. This year, Spokane Home Builders Association's 17th annual Fall Festival of Homes will be both in person and online, featuring almost 20 of our local builders. Whether you're buying, looking for remodeling ideas, or just decorating inspirations, find it all at the Fall Festival of Homes. Sponsored by Ferguson Bath, Kitchen and Lighting Gallery, and Bosch. Brought to you by the Spokane Home Builders Association. Local resources and proven leaders.